My husband has been very quiet since a conversation we had of why I love him, confused about his silence. 2 nights ago, my husband asked me a question I didn't think twice about at the time. We were sitting on the couch after dinner. Nothing special, just watching some random show neither of us were really paying attention to. Out of nowhere, he muted the TV and asked me something that seemed simple, thoughtful. Why do you love me? Chuckles. I laughed a little because it sounded like one of those playful questions couples ask each other sometimes. So I answered honestly. I told him I loved him because he's reliable, because he works hard, because he's always calm when things get stressful, because when everything else in life feels chaotic, he's the one steady thing I can count on. At the time, it felt like a normal answer, but he just nodded and turned the TV back on. And since that moment, something has been off. My husband is usually very talkative. He's the kind of person who tells me every small thing that happened at work, every weird conversation he overheard, every dumb joke his coworkers made. But the last 2 days, he's barely said anything. At first, I assumed he was just tired. Then yesterday morning, I noticed he left for work without kissing me goodbye. That has never happened before in the 6 years we've been together. I asked him if everything was okay. Monotone. He said, yeah, and left. That was it. Last night during dinner, he barely touched his food. He kept staring down at the table like he was thinking about something else entirely. Finally, I asked him directly if something was bothering him. He hesitated for a second and then said something that completely caught me off guard. Sad. You didn't say anything about me. I didn't understand what he meant at first, so I asked him to explain. He said when he asked why I loved him, all the reasons I gave were about what he does for me, that he works hard, that he's reliable, that he handles stressful situations. But I didn't say anything about him as a person. I just sat there staring at him because I honestly hadn't thought about it that way. Then he said something that made my chest feel tight. Sad. You love what I provide, not who I am. I immediately told him that wasn't true. But the more I tried explaining, the quieter he became. Apparently, this question had been on his mind for a while. He told me that sometimes he feels like his entire identity revolves around being useful to other people. At work, he's the dependable one who solves problems. In his family, he's the responsible son everyone calls when something goes wrong. And at home, he's the stable husband who makes sure everything is handled. But he said he can't remember the last time someone appreciated him for just existing. Not for fixing something, not for providing something, just for being himself. Hearing him say that honestly made me realize something about our relationship that I had never noticed before. He does so much quietly in the background that I think I stopped recognizing it as effort. It just became normal. Later that night, we were lying in bed and I asked him the same question he asked me. Thoughtful. Why do you love me? He answered immediately. He said he loves the way I laugh when I find something genuinely funny. He loves how I talk to strangers like they're already friends. He loves that I get emotional over random movies. None of his answers were about what I do for him. They were about who I am. That's when it finally hit me why my answer hurt him so much. This morning before he left for work, I stopped him at the door and told him something I should have said the first time. I told him I love the way he gets excited explaining things he's passionate about. I love how he quietly helps people without expecting credit. I love how he stays patient even when other people are losing their temper. And I told him I don't love him because of what he provides. I love him because of who he is when nobody is asking anything from him. He didn't say much after that, but when he left for work today, he kissed me goodbye again, which feels like a small sign that maybe I fixed something I didn't realize I had broken.